welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting edition of Transformers Reviews. Now today, guys, I am actually super excited to bring you guys the Voyager class version of Last Night Megatron. And I have to say, out of all the figures that we've seen for Megatron, out of all the different modes, even including the Age of Extinction Galvatron, I think this is probably by far my favorite out of all of them. Now, I haven't had the chance to look at the Leader class Megatron, but from what I hear from everybody is they think the Voyager is the superior figure. So we're going to go ahead and look at some of the details and see maybe why that is. Now, one of the things I noticed right off the bat is I love just the overall shape and the aesthetic. It doesn't look too fat from any angle. I mean, it looks pretty good. It's a pretty slim and streamlined jet, especially on the top. Now the top is where one of the points I want to bring out that I've heard a little bit of discussion about this, that everybody says it looks to them like a mixture of Cybertronian jets and Earth jet technology. So I was like, well, I kind of agree, because the top side to me, especially with like these engine bits, if that's what that is, these intakes or cannons, whatever they might be, which we'll come back to that in a minute, just different parts of the sculpting on top. It's very clean and smooth, like you would expect to see on modern day Earth jets. But the bottom side is where the Cybertronian bit comes in, because that's Cybertronian molding on the bottom side. See, I mean, it's drastically different from this side. So yeah, on the top, basically looks like an Earth jet. On the bottom, that's where the Cybertronian robo bits that form the bottom part of the jet go. And I have to say that if you sit there and look at it long enough, you'll be able to pick out what they are. But just at a glance, it visually kind of it just visually, sorry, I'm having a hard time thinking of the expression. Basically, it just blends together. Not exactly seamlessly, but visually it just kind of blends together. And you know, like I said, if you sit there and look at it long enough, you'll be able to pick these parts out. But I love how other bits conceal other pieces on the bottom to help with that visual disappearing look. So one of the things you'll notice is his axe on top. And I don't think it really diminishes his vehicle look. I mean, if you didn't want it on there, you could just take it off. All it does is it just plugs in there like that. And I mean, it stays on there pretty secure. So overall, again, and I did say we were going to come back to these. Some people have said with these pieces right here, they said they're either intakes or they're cannons. Personally, I think it's whatever you want to make them, because we never saw a Megatron dogfight in vehicle mode in the movie. That would have been legit. But anyway, again, just overall stellar vehicle mode. So one of the things that, before we move on to size comparisons, that I wanted to bring out, actually it'll kind of help transition us into it, is you look at his jet cockpit, and for the most part it has this gold color, but it looks like he has red eyes, which, I mean, and even back here it has a little bit, which that's kind of odd, but it got me thinking. I was like, where have I seen that before exactly? Well, on Beast Machine's Jetstorm, to be exact. You see, he has a similar thing with Megatron. They both have like the cockpit, but then they have the red eyes thing going on. So I don't know really what's going on with it, but hey, I don't mind. It's cool, whatever. Helps remind me of an old figure I have, which, if you look at this Jetstorm is actually a deluxe size, and for the most part over the years since Beast Machine's, deluxe sizes have remained pretty consistent. So if you look at it, you can kind of see the difference between the Voyager class and the deluxe class. So anyway, if we go on, if you want to see him with another Voyager from the same line, sorry guys, my dog came in while I was filming this. We'll go ahead and turn the camera here a little bit. Now, this Grimlock is actually the same mold. This is the Age of Extinction, but it's the same one that they've reused for Last Night. You can kind of see how he stacks up. Now, it's kind of hard to compare a T-Rex to a jet, but you can, as far as just overall mass is concerned, you can kind of see that Megatron, even though he's more compacted and down in jet mode, it's roughly the same mass as Grimlock. So anyway, and in robot mode, they stand pretty even, as far as bulk and overall height, so that's pretty nice. Anyway, guys, that's enough for comparisons. Definitely, I get just an A+ on vehicle mode. So let's see how he fares in robot mode. Oh man, and I tell you what, guys, he does not disappoint. Man, I have to say, just everything about this figure in robot mode, as cool as it was in vehicle mode, it just gets so much better with robot mode, because with his overall look, you can tell that it's a mixture of Cybertronian styling with the Knight armored look. And for Megatron, he pulls off, because if there was a Black Knight in the movie, it's this guy. And you know what's cool about it is while the detailing is such an amazing aspect of it, he does have different shades. Like he'll have grays down here on the armor bits, and it merges with the dark gray, almost black bits, and then it has the little bits of gold to pop out everywhere, which is cool. Now, one thing I did want to mention is his feet. You know, when we saw the concept art for this guy, everybody was like making comparisons to like World of Warcraft or whatever that is. I don't play those games, so I don't really know. For me, like the feet, I'm cool with it. True, there are no other beast-like, you know, things on him, maybe except for his head, but the feet I'm okay with. Now, since we're talking about the head, one of the things that the Voyager does not have that the Leader class does is the Leader class will allow both sides of the battle mask to come together and you know, come together on the front of his face. This cannot. This is just basically all his head. That's it. You see what you get. But the thing is, I'm okay with that. Matter of fact, the one thing I'm not too crazy about is the gold teeth. I don't know. I mean, technically, it's his teeth and part of his bottom jaw. So I don't know what that is all about. Maybe it was to help tie in with the rest of these gold bits. Whatever. I'm okay with it. It's not the best thing in the world. It's just kind of weird. But one of the things that this head has is fantastic light piping. So let's see if we can get Megatron's eyes to light up here. Ooh, yeah. See, now he's looking, his eyes are all lit up like they are in the movie, which is awesome. Now, if we look at his shoulders here, you can see they're asymmetrical armor, but I mean, that's cool, whatever. Now, I think I'm going to move on to the thing that everybody was happy about, was the fact that Megatron had a slag maker, or for in layman's terms, an arm-mounted cannon, which that's the closest to G1 that we've got with this Megatron, with the movie Megatron. The only thing that has ever come close to that is the previous iteration of this guy whenever he was Galvatron. And I mean, you guys can see, I mean, just this one just looks aesthetic. If we're just talking about aesthetic, this looks a lot cooler than whatever Galvatron's got going on over here. I mean, true, you can tell it's canon, but I mean, this one obviously just, it looks a lot better. So anyway, if we are going to, before we get into the full-on size comparisons, which we'll come back to Galvatron, you saw his axe in jet mode, but just take a moment and kind of look at the detailing on this thing. I mean, all around, I mean, there's not a bit of it that's bland. I mean, it's cool. And with his axe and the amazing range of posability that Megatron can get into, I mean, you could put him in some pretty intimidating or pretty cool poses anyway. So one of the things, before I forget, here is the bits that we mentioned on the jet that are either the intakes or the cannons. I think personally where they're located on Galvatron, you know, like Prime has the jet boots or whatever. These could be like a counteract to help him launch into the sky or whatever, if you choose to do so. It's your figure, you decide what to do with it, right? You can use it however you please. Now, if we're going to go on into the size comparisons, let's go back to Galvatron real quick. I'll take this little thing off here. And you know, Galvatron, one of the things about him is he has a decent amount of bulk. If you minus the backpack, he's pretty evenly proportioned. Megatron takes that and then runs with it to a better degree. Oh, and I just noticed something that I forgot. One of the things is he does have great arm articulation. No doubt about that. But on both these, if you want his arm to go out to a 90-degree angle, this part of the armor actually pops up, enabling that to happen. And it's for both sides, so you can do it for, you know, whatever you want to do. So that's cool that they made that little kind of slight adjustment. It's not just a notch cut out of there, so if you want to have his arms, it still has the complete shoulder armor. But if you wanted to have that much expressiveness with Megatron, you now have that option. So anyway, alright, back to the comparison. Megatron, he still is in proportion, but with the armor look, it allows for a little bit of flexibility, a little bit of playroom, and just an overall greater look. I mean, I love everything on this because the chest armor, especially like we mentioned with the Cybertronian Knight look going on, it looks so much better than, you know, the glowing hole in Galvatron's chest. Plus, I mean, the thing is he has a little tiny emblem right here for Decepticons, but this one, it's a little bit more obvious for some odd reason, because that one kind of blends in with all the detailing on Galvatron. So it's nice. I like whenever they make a symbol a little bit more pronounced without making it gaudy. So anyway, but you can see that overall it is just, this figure is such a great improvement over the same character's previous iteration in Galvatron. So while Galvatron has a lot of good points about him, Megatron blows him out of the water. Another reason being is look how clean Megatron's robot mode is compared to Galvatron's. There's very little back, you know, plane bits. You've maybe got the nose cone right here and a little bit of the wings that wrap around the legs. But it looks, and this is an oddity for a lot of movie Transformers, because even Grimlock has a lot of back kibble. So it's like they took the time for Megatron to be a lot cleaner and a lot more just overall aesthetically pleasing. So since we've got Grimlock out here, you know, Megatron may be taller unless you count the fin coming off of Grimlock's head, but these guys stack up pretty good to each other. So I mean, even if you gave Grimlock his little, you know, weapon he's got going on here, that doesn't look too bad. And like I said, this is the same mold that they've released at retail. The colors are just different. He's more of just, you know, the solid black and silver. So I mean, heck, if you had these two guys on a shelf together, they'd stack up really nice. Because this, you know, they're with Voyagers, and just overall as far as mass and bulk go, they're pretty on par with each other. So, but overall, guys, I cannot say it enough, and I apologize if I sound like I've been repeating myself. But like I said, I think that there's been a lot of thought put into Megatron's robot mode, and so I now see why everybody says this is a superior figure. Because I've looked at a lot of the features, like in a review of the Leader class Megatron, and true, it does have a lot more features, but everybody seems to think that just for a plethora of reasons, some of them that we've looked at, they think this is a good one. So I can't say anything about the Leader. As I said, I haven't reviewed it myself. I'm probably not going to get it, but if you're looking for a recommendation for this Megatron, get him. I mean, he's popular and people are looking for him. Matter of fact, I've got 2 more coming in that I'm going to put on my eBay store. So if you guys are interested, please take a look. And I will put the link in the description down below if you want to take a look. So if not, I understand, that's totally cool. I just appreciate you guys checking out my videos. And especially all my subscribers, thank you guys. And I hope that everybody sees this video and enjoyed this review. And until next time, guys, we will see you then.